The story starts in a town near the shore. With a population of 5,000 people, the place is abundant of natural resources and wildlife rests near the human population. It's here we are introduced to Hajime Kageyama pondering about his angel returning. From a distance, the angelic classmate named Akira Momose is sitting across from Hajime. He is overly excited at the fact they both are classmates, seeing as they went to the same elementary school. Although a big problem arises as they have never spoken to one another before. His friend suddenly questioned his enthusiasm and grin, which he gladly answered of enjoying his youth to the fullest, filled with sweetness and sourness. In all honesty, he only had involvement with Akira on 4th grade before she moved away, although it's revealed also that she didn't spoke to his annoyance. Hajime never could have ever imagined they would meet again, pondering if it's destiny, as she totally became a hottie and could never be in her league. With this in mind, he makes the most of his unreturned feelings. We then cut short to the very person he admired confronting him about a question, with a sharp look in her eyes and a dark gaze. She pinned Hajime against a tree, pondering about his favorite food. Hajime looks in distraught and confused, seeing as how he was just minding his own business. Hajime couldn't believe the one and only Akira is talking to him. He ponders if it's due to him doing good deeds scoring him karma points the other day. With an embarrassed look on his face, he answered while staying cool. Although he's met with silence, pondering if he gave the wrong answer. While acting calm and composed, she leans closely towards Hajime, wondering if it's really what he wanted. Under the blooming tree, Hajime gets pinned down to the ground, confessing his love for omelette rice and big fried shrimp. Akira then exclaims, liking these things about him, revealing that he's still the same as always, not changing a bit since back then. This left Hajime in shocked flinching as Akira silently walked away. Left with confusion, it's safe to say that she doesn't know how to properly express herself. As Akira got back with her friends, they demand an answer about her approach. She then breaks down in tears while twitching as she is proud to make the bold move of asking him. Her friend sees this as a huge success, praising her for her actions. As they cheered with joy, it's revealed that Akira was nervous the whole time, although she managed to follow their script for today's plan. All while Hajime was admiring Akira, she was meticulously crafting a plan in order to make Hajime notice her presence. With this she succeeded, as she was hopelessly clumsy. Back at Hajime, his friend wandered looking for him. As he approached and questioned what's wrong, Hajime was contemplating if the person he admired hates him, revealing his hopelessly oblivious thinking towards the situation. As Hajime is still in disbelief and in a panic, he still hasn't realized that little by little he was being enveloped by someone who truly cares for him. The next morning arrives with the crested ibis chirping. Hajime is seen pondering on the situation yesterday, as he was rejected by his first love. He suddenly gets interrupted as Akira stood with a cold gaze, asking Hajime to follow her to the equipment room during break time as she wanted to speak about something. This startled Hajime, agreeing to her request, although he ponders what seems to be the situation about. It's then revealed that Akira had a sketch of her plans of making Hajime heart race with physical contact. She shakes nervously upon imagining the events that's about to unfold. As break period started, Hajime headed straight to the equipment room, hoping he won't get scolded. As he opened the door, he immediately gets jumped by Akira from behind with a scary and dark look, as a loud crash could be heard. Akira is nervous as he's being held on his mouth, questioning the situation. It's then revealed that Akira messed up the situation, as upon executing the plan this isn't what she was meant to do, as it was supposed to be an affectionate gesture. She doubles down with a scary look on her face, questioning who he is, but it's supposed to be guess who, messing up again and scaring Hajime. In the process, she became in total panic, and immediately initiate phase 2 of the plan, whispering in his ear to find out his favorite animal. But she then nervously didn't act it in the way she hoped it was. Hajime panics, questioning if she's not as she seems, asking if she's alright and feeling unwell. She grabbed onto her shoulders with concern. This gave Hajime a scare, apologizing for his actions, which left Akira to have a dark and scared face, exclaiming it wasn't on purpose. Akira hurriedly left the equipment room, leaving Hajime to ponder about his actions, as he definitely creeped her out, thus making her go out the room. But in reality, Akira couldn't seem to contain herself from the excitement, and slumped down to assess the situation later on. As she was still trying to calm down, Hajime ponders with his friend about his problematic situation, wondering if he will ever get the chance to talk to her, and still looked at him in the eyes after what had happened in the equipment room, giving the idea that he has no idea that Akira was just nervous and flustered by his actions and closeness earlier. We are then introduced to the forest where bears emerge from hibernation, called the Asian black bear, leaving its claws. In this forest right next to it, a slumbering grandpa is giving the impression that spring has begun as he sleeps soundly. From a distance, Hajime is rushing where he acted without thinking and called his mother about his grandfather passing away. But in hindsight he wasn't, and it's then pointed out that this is the 4th time this year he already acted this way again. Back at school, Hajime is troubled as he has a bad habit of acting before he thinks, exclaiming as he acted that way again. His friend pointed out his bad habit being like this ever since forever, as far as he could remember. Due to this, his nickname from middle school was Hasty Hajime. He became oblivious to this, although he got stabbed with the reality that Momose may heart that part of him, as he approached her trying to talk to her without thinking about her feelings and acted without thinking again and again. With the final blow being dealt, as this is the reason he couldn't go out with Momose, his friend asks if he's okay with this circumstances. Hajime tried denying this as that possibility could not exist, which his friend is bewildered to hear this unexpected answer. He immediately exclaimed that Akira is more like a concept rather than a human. He explained that back when they were younger he sees her as a goddess who quietly watched and listened as he talked, although it seems he just babbled by himself. But this gave him the assurance it will be for sure going to be alright. But shortly after going home, he is met by Akira as she held a wedding magazine while looking at Hajime with a serious gaze. This made Hajime look at her with confusion, pondering what his situation. He got startled upon seeing the marriage magazine. Akira got close, asking him to read the part where her name is mentioned. As she got closer, Hajime is scared for his life, seeing as Akira might be angry and so close towards his face. He stumbled on his words. Akira's intentions were not to scare or startle, but to have the person she admired called out her name in a sweet way. Seeing as how she failed, she became embarrassed and nervous, as she also didn't make his heart skip a beat in the way she wanted to. She panicked, which gave the misunderstanding to Hajime that she wanted to give him a chance in striking up a conversation, pondering if she really doesn't hate him. With confidence he answered about the wedding dresses, but made him left with silence, giving him the idea that he probably chose a bad topic, making Akira frozen in place. But in hindsight she was really eager to make him talk to her, thus her brain panicked and shut down. This gave Akira a nostalgic feeling of familiarity, as it was like this in elementary school, where she ignored him on his talking as she did everything to talk to her. He suddenly got lost in those happy memories of his back then. He ponders what he should need to say to keep the conversation going, as this might give even more a negative impact, as he always wanted to talk with her. He exclaims of being glad on going to the same school again, seeing as how they were in different classes in elementary school and they only got to see each other when school was over. Akira then looked shocked as she ponders of not going to the same elementary schools as he was. This made Hajime question reality, as he tried reasoning of going back home the same way. She assured Hajime that they only saw each other on the way back home. He couldn't believe her words, asking if it's a joke, as all these 4 years he was talking to her thinking they went to the same school. This left Hajime in shambles, but they soon got interrupted by a cute wild boar. Hajime, without thinking before acting, grabbed hold of Akira and started running for their life. It's indicated that when there's a baby wild boar, a much aggressive mom wild boar would be around. He suddenly noticed that he was grabbing Akira's hand. He instantly put his hand away, being troubled by his actions and not thinking before jumping the gun. We then transition back to her past, where Hajime is talking to her all the time. Even though she doesn't reply, he still babbled to himself. But in contrast, in school she always is a loner and doesn't talk much. With the scene changing from a depressing school life to a fun and not so boring life after school with Hajime, her days got better and better, where she cherished these moments, as seen where she hides her true face. Akira immediately dashes, leaving Hajime to be left behind, where he shouts his apology as she might seen him as a creep. Akira looks behind and admires Hajime. She smiled and blushes at their moment together, giving the idea that these two are hopelessly out of sync, and yet their story continues on steadily, little by little, where she plans they date and marry one another. The season changed, where the school staffer picks the weeds out as spring has come to the countryside. Hajime is faced with the problem as physical fitness test day arrived. He couldn't believe what he was witnessing as Akira put up her hair, showcasing her beauty, leaving Hajime to totally almost faint from her dazzling figure. Later, Hajime still couldn't move on from Akira's beauty. He also exclaims of being overjoyed at the physical fitness test, as the event turned out to be a lively class. From a distance he heard Akira's name being shouted. Akira is seen as a dazzling figure, being praised by her friends from behind, with her achievements being always #1 every year, being at the top in academics but also in sports, but in reality she was lacking in that department, as she always places low scores on the tests, giving Akira the frustration as she didn't knew she was that weak, considering she was aiming to be #1 this year. Her friends comforted her, calling out that it's pretty impressive how persistent she was, although she declines as she needs to reach her goals. On the other hand, Hajime throws a ball exceeding 100 km/h, as he admired from afar. He outstandingly aces all of the tests at pro level, but is unaware of his amazing talents, only seeing Akira's determination to be so cool. As he sat down, his friend couldn't believe his words, questioning why isn't he in any sports club when he's good at athletics. It's then revealed that he hates pain, and in 2nd grade he fainted due to a dodgeball, thus resulting in him not participating in any of the events. This made him envy Akira as she is facing her weaknesses head on, not believing that actual people like her actually exists in this world. Later on, his teacher called him up to be remeasured as the test wasn't done properly and his record box was left blank. Even though everything was put away, the teacher called out to Akira, seeing as she got the measuring for it, where he is left to ponder what is this situation is. He couldn't believe that he's getting measured by the person he likes. He stumbled on his words, where Akira asks him to do the tasks at hand with a cold tone. This gesture of her is seen to be so determined. It's then revealed that she was shaking and trembling, thinking on how to execute her plans of touching him and making his heart race. Hajime asked to help him out with this. She put her fingers towards his back. Seeing as things went normal, Akira is flustered as this is the first time she has seen success, although he ponders about the weird situation. He asks Akira to push harder, but as he turned around, the two seemingly got too close to one another, almost leading to a kiss. Akira, with the immediately recoil, whips his face, leaving Hajime to ponder if he pissed her off. She then startled, turning his head around, hurting him, all while she is left dumbfounded as her heart skipped a lot of beats due to the accidental kiss they almost had earlier. Shortly after, it's as if the room fell silent due to Akira passing out, where shortly after he has grown weirdly accustomed to the results. Shortly after, salmon was introduced as it's part of a special lesson where in the countryside it's the norm. As the teachers announced the girl would be baking cookies and splitting into groups, Akira from a distance is seen so motivated and serious about this lesson, leaving her two friends to be in shock. From the start, she meticulously planned every part of the baking process. Her friends expected this kind of level, as her professionalism showed in every step of the way, doing gracefully and fast at the same time. Akira is seen as a perfectionist. Her friends asked that they should help out also, as they wanted to taste their baked goods. Akira is seen embarrassed as she would give the cookies to someone whom she liked. Her friends find this reason to be so cute. They cheered her up and assures whatever she baked would be delicious. But shortly after, Hajime finds the cookies to taste terrible, leaving Akira to be in shock. They both stand there in silence as Hajime couldn't believe the horrible taste. Her friends watches from afar, and it's revealed that the horrible taste was due to the reason she mixed mustard powder instead of sugar. Her friends trembled in fear as they couldn't believe she mistaked it, and slips up at the most critical part. Hajime apologized as he couldn't lie, hurting Akira, although he points out to its unique flavor, but then shortly after he couldn't breathe all of a sudden. Akira grabs hold of Hajime like she was kidnapping him and putting him in a chokehold due to her panicking. She then fully panics, splashing Hajime with a water hose. Akira's friends rushed in to help her but was stopped midway. Hajime asks for more cookies, as in the end he ate most of them. Although the taste was unique, he is just happy to be given something that was made for him exclusively. Hajime was left all alone, seeing as Akira left him again, making Hajime to ponder if he messed up again and is a creep. But all along Akira was just hiding away with a flustered look on her face and distraught figure, as she couldn't believe the person she liked would go out of their way to appreciate her efforts and time in making something. She was left with a memento of a handkerchief which she treasured deeply and became deep in thought. Up in the building, her friends watches from afar and gave her the sign of approval as two more people started to think that Kageyama is actually a pretty decent guy.